Hello everybody and welcome. It is the 16th of June 2024 and it is a very special edition of Sussy Baka Sunday, brought to you by the magical motherfucking butter machine. And I hope you are all happy, healthy, and most importantly, hydrated. How is everybody doing today? Right here on Twitch or all the way over on YouTube. You could have been anywhere else on the internet, but you're here with me and you're here with us. And I appreciate that. Already the gang is showing up and showing out. Meester all the way over on YouTube. Usually not able to catch most of my streams, but not today, Satan. Let's go. Meester, thank you so much for hanging out with us here today. Bless, bless. ZG Beans also in the house. Deus Marionette, Beezers, and Pro Locar. BPA also in the mix. How is everybody doing today? I am so buttered up right now. That's right, the rumors and scuttlebutt are true. Today is Sussy Baka Sunday, brought to you by the magical butter machine, which means this cup here, it's not really a cup, let me just be honest. So I'm going to be open and transparent with you all.
Really? You're a fucking moron.
This butter has been consumed all day. I would say about two big slices. I chopped two big slices of butter off today, and I'm actually enjoying.
Really? You're a fucking moron.
I'm really enjoying the last bit of what I intended on indulging in today. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. Thank you, Marionette. The streak is a lie. True. Twitch is a trash platform.
Chip in.
And we hate it so much that we continue to stream on its servers. Oh, shit. Yes, as far as I'm concerned, that is like 130 stream streak. Deus Marionette, the glue that keeps this ship afloat. All streaks are lies. And thank you, Perlocar, for cashing in those channel points. And also, thank you, Deus Marionette. Fellow After Hours Discord members, did I make all of this stuff yourself? I'm impressed. Oh, absolutely.
Dancing is forbidden.
Thank you. Yes. This is just one of many different sets that I have. Deus Marionette is the one that created the Space Ghost PNG tuber that you see right over there. And I'm a huge fan of the Adult Swim aesthetic. And so, of course, I had to, I don't have any original thoughts in my own stupid head. We just rip off of the things that we see on Adult Swim in the early 2000s, such as... So just think about it for a second, guys. Just think about it for a second. If Felipio, the man himself, DSP, aka Mr. $100,000 a year, had half of the production values that we have here today. His name is John C. Had half of the production values that we have over here, I think he'd have a very different outlook on his streams. But who knows? He's still a piece of shit, so...
You fucking moron!
Thank you so much, Pro Locar. I'm at 8, will rest by next stream watch. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? He would still be boring. True. His money goes towards gambling, not making things better. Or making things butter. So, the reason why I showed off those 2 bumps for a second is because, one, I'm very proud of the stuff that I do, and second, I needed a couple of bit of extra seconds off camera to go and do something. Today has been a excellent day. I had so much fun. I was planning on streaming earlier, however, that was not the case, and allow me to indulge you all with what I got into earlier today. So, I woke up this morning with full intentions of having a magical butter day. Every morning I drink a bulletproof coffee, which is essentially grass-fed, salt-free butter and coconut oil inside of coffee. It helps with my keto diet. And every Sunday I take my already vape bud that I have already vaped. I put it in the magical butter machine with some pasteurized butter. Excuse me. And then I pour it out into a silicone tray. And then I slice bits and pieces off and put it in my coffee on Sundays.
It's obvious you don't know what you're talking about.
And Sundays only, because yes, unlike Review Tech
Really?
USA,
You're a fucking moron.
unlike Review Tech USA, I can hold my shit and I can be on edibles and not be a complete slob on the internet. But today started off, I planned on getting online early and streaming. However, the magical butter was so intense this morning. It comes in waves. It was so intense this morning. I had to put I was feeling a little eepy, so I put my head down and I got some sleep. True, that is me. Pro Locar's got it right. And so the lovely in real life female style waifu also was hanging out and chilling and just taking the day to relax, because we had a very, very busy weekend. In fact, a very excellent showing out in the Tail Goat, Jimmy's Famous Seafood, and the Baltimore Orioles, and Maryland Championship Pro Wrestling, MCW Pro. The tag team we didn't know that we needed, but now I couldn't think of another female style. True, and unlike Filipio, the in real life female waifu actually does like being on camera, and it's not an absolute bitch either.
We just broke through the fourth wall.
And in fact, we were just floating around in the pool just a couple of minutes ago, but that is later. This morning we took a nap. It was a good nap. It was a good butter-inspired style nap. And then we got the munchies. So the night before, we actually did the MCW Pro Wrestling live event at the Jimmy's Famous Tailgoat. Then we went home and watched Clash at the Castle, which was excellent, by the way. Fellas, get you somebody that will let you put your hand on their butt while you're watching a pay-per-view. It was an awesome show. Thank you, Pro Locar. I appreciate that. And so we had a full day and evening of pro wrestling festivities. And then this morning, it was a lazy Sunday. I had every intention on streaming earlier, but I just got too buttered up, and it comes in waves. And so essentially, got up, had some butter, ate some food, took a nap, and then watched episode 2 of season 4 of The Boys, which I highly recommend. Thank you so much. Meester, you are greatly appreciated, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for helping out with the algorithm too, because I'm trying to get this YouTube channel to partner. I feel like if DSP can get 3 channels to partner, then I can get this one to partner.
Who cares? Who cares?
And this is just the just chatting portion of it. We got a lot to do here today. We actually have an itinerary, unlike some other streamers that we know.
Fuck you. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yikes. So we plan on taking a look-see at a couple of videos, and then we're going to jump into Elden Ring. By the way, hello everybody, and welcome to the Level 99 live stream, where we are feeling fine all the way up here at Level 99. I hope you're all happy, healthy, and most importantly, hydrated. My name is Lord Diaz. I am a 19-year professional wrestler, 20-year graphic designer, and I am high as fuck. big level 99 behavior, because if Filipio is having fun all the way down on level 1, then we are feeling fine all the way up here at level 99. How does that work out? Well, it does. It just does. So before we actually get into any of that, I want to send some shout outs and some love to the usual suspects, the ones that come through each and every stream. We really do appreciate it. Pro Locar, you're the first one up on the board.
So far, my favorite part has been Beck's badasses. Beck's badasses are... You know, Patty, you're actually one of the few that know how to do it just right.
Thank you, Pro Locar, because your content is my content is our content, comrade. But that's not all. The cast of characters in the community grows by the day. Deus Marionette is literally the glue that keeps all of us together. She is the reason why we have this Space Ghost style thing right here. We fix this. We're not vibing anymore. It's throwing me off. It's totally screwing me up. Thoughts on Brian joining a detractor stream later on tonight? Well, let me tell you this. First off, congratulations to Brian for not only being the North Star in Darkside Phil's pathetic little life. Any small victory for decency and just generally being an overall well human being inside of the vortex. That's a very low bar to clear, apparently, because we have some Darishes and we have some OICs in the world. But to not only navigate the choppy waters of DSP_/space gaming, but being able to go tit for tat with the detractors is something to be admired.
Buddy gang, they love casting spells.
A glimmer of hope for the dents lost in the abyss of begging. Well, here's the thing of it too. I know that King Be Cruel got it just as bad, if not worse, when he was cured of the pygnosis, and ever since then, now King Be Cruel is actual royalty inside of the vortex, and he's overall just generally a very nice person to be around. We actually found a lot of similar things that we like that's outside of the Detractorverse. So King Be Cruel's a huge fan of future funk and city pop, a huge fan of old school Dance Dance Revolution, which is my jam. There's a big overlap. We get a lot of people from the Detractorverse coming through and kind of sampling the wares that this corner of the internet has to offer. And you know, it really does mean a lot, Meester, when you come over and say that these streams are nuts and that you don't regret catching these streams, because I feel like we run a pretty good product over here. You know, if I'm just, you know, pat myself on the back here. And I am proud of the work that we do over here, especially because of the fact it is a group effort. Deus Marionette and Prolocar and the Boneless One and the usual suspects always help me push this live stream and this channel further than what it was before, and then leading the charge. The flagship stream of this channel is the Summer of Stepmania streams.
Check those moves! Oh yeah!
Poor subtitles are trying so hard, and that's why I'm also trying to enunciate myself better, because if we're being honest here, I'm going to be open and transparent. Now, that may not mean that I'm telling you the truth. It's just that it's something that I really want you guys to hear and listen and understand.
Stop it! Stop!
I'm deaf in one ear. This is just an illusion. I can't hear anything out of this ear. I'm completely deaf. So that means I may have a speech impediment. And from time to time, I may not get the words right. However, if you see the tags on my Twitter, or I'm sorry, not my Twitter, my Twitch, you see, you'll see that I have a deaf tagged. And that's why I have these subtitles down here. Because we do have a couple of people that come by and they follow and watch the channel literally because I accommodate our hearing impaired friends. So And then also, it also helps that this is a Adult Swim font, Helvetica condensed new. Yeah, that's right. We even the font that you see on the goals or the follows up there in the upper left corner, that's all the same Adult Swim font. The chat that you see down at the bottom, that's all the same font. I'm a huge fan of aesthetics, and being able to do this for 20 years as a graphic designer, actually going to school for it and actually making a living off of it, has opened my eyes to all of the, let's just say, amateur-ish attempts by other content creators. And you know, and it's not just like I'm sitting here on my Ivy Tower telling, oh, well, your graphics suck or your overlays suck. I've been thoroughly humbled by the likes of Deus Marionette, who continuously, with a analog pen and pencil and a tablet, do actual art instead of the AI generated waifu style stuff that you see on my channel. BPA says on Twitch, the Helvetica font has its own documentary. It's quite interesting. Hey, yo, well, you know, I'm always interested in looking at new things to watch on the internet. And what I may actually do is I actually have a playlist. What I want to do is expand it to TikTok, because Pay Money Wubby has a ton of fun just watching TikTok on stream high as fuck. And I feel like, hey, I mean, I could do that too, I think. Having me on an art fight. Well, let's make sure that that is a plus 18 stream, because I will be drawing hentai.
Dancing is forbidden.
The adults be swimming, and yes, all kids out of the pool. By the way, I'm the same age as Felipio, and I ain't got time for none of that dumb shit.
You're a fucking moron.
And the Discord that I'm linking into the Twitch chat right now, there's no freakery, but we also do not stand for any type of immature and childish activities, including, but not limited to, asking to be unbanned from other people, and then consorting with other people to plot against you, and then saying my name in other people's chats. But I'm not talking about that. We've actually had a decent go at it for a while, so that's pretty much all the news and notes that I have going on out of today and this past weekend. We have a full lineup of videos that we're going to react to. Dawn Trail, kicking things off, Final Fantasy XIV. It's coming out the 2nd or 5th of June, I forget. Let's just say the beginning of June. And I'm a huge Final Fantasy nerd. Final Fantasy XIV, I feel, is my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. And the new expansion Dawn Trail is coming out. The entire Heidelin Zodiac story has concluded. 10 years of Final Fantasy XIV storyline goodness, all resolved in Endwalker, and now kicking off a brand new adventure with Dawn Trail. But then after that, we have a video about what we need to do in order to prep for the brand new Shadow of the Erd Tree Elden Ring DLC. We have expansions. We got expansions and DLC out the wazoo. I cannot wait for all of this. So I think 30 minutes is a decent enough time for a podcast. Unlike some people, I'm not going to just sit here with my arms crossed and wait for Q&A, you know?
I have no idea what you're talking about, and I don't care.
So, with all that being said, would you guys please do indulge me? We're going to do some live reacts to some videos, and then we're going to jump into Elden Ring, because Prolocar of the Prolocar live stream was so kind as to help me along. And in fact, thank you again, Prolocar, so much for being so patient with me and understanding, because I've been fighting this game tooth and nail. I don't understand it. It doesn't have the modern sensibilities that I am used to. However, I do find myself constantly thinking about this game, and I'm definitely hyped for the Erd Tree stuff, so much so that I've already beaten Mog. I think Mog is the name of the guy. Mog, so I can actually get to the DLC. I have not cleared the game, but I did beat Millennia, so like, oh, let's go. I did it off camera though, so that kind of pissed me off. Every time I've ever told people I like Final Fantasy VII the most, they call me a normie. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. When I was a child, again, same age as Filipio, I played Final Fantasy 1 on the Nintendo. And I didn't like it because it was not Mario. Oh shit! Oh shit! He mogging. Wait a minute. We got Mogs actually in the chat. Hold up. Now, Meester, did you play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Because that was a huge part of this channel. A couple of months ago when Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out, the entire stream was nothing but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We were trying to go on a date with Tifa. Hashtag Tifa best girl. Ended up going out with Aerith instead, which is fine. And I'm still processing the ending. I won't spoil anything, but I have been watching a lot of ending critical analysis videos, and every time I see a new video, I have a brand new branch of thoughts and feelings about what the game story could be or what it isn't. My allowance was spent on PC parts. Still want Rebirth though. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Priorities. Here's what I would say, Meester. Get them PC parts, build that PC up, and then get Final Fantasy VII Rebirth when it comes out for the PC. That's what I would recommend. Because, I mean, the game looks beautiful already, but there is some rough patches. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not even gonna front. But, still an excellent game. Over 150 hours into that game, and I cannot wait to do some more. But speaking of Final Fantasy, I think it is now time. 30 minutes have passed. It is now time for us to enjoy the sights and the sounds of Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. We're going to be watching 2 videos about that, and then we're going to be watching 2 videos about Elden Ring, and then we're going to jump into Elden Ring proper. So, with all that being said, by the way, I'm going to probably need to go into a different set because I want everybody to see it. So I got to pick a set here. Maybe you guys can help me out here. I have multiple different sets that we can use here. But first off, okay, that doesn't work. So I got a couple of different sets here. Let's go ahead and see what we've got lined up. We've got the old level 99 live stream. This is the first one that we had. We got the old Aqua Teen background. We got the old Sonic CD. See, none of this is going to work. But like, what do y'all think about the Wakando? We also got that. And Filipio keeps whining about their no good games this year. What an idiot. Hey, yo, look at this. I can make my own Adult Swim bumps with this. Oh, if I put it right there in the middle, that sounds like a good idea, actually. All right, let's open this up. How about that? Does that sound good? All right, very nice. So hello everybody, welcome to the level 99 live stream where we are feeling fine all the way up here at level 99. Let's just go ahead and take a little looky look at the playlist that I need to find now. This is live television, everybody. There we go. Copy that. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Snort. And once again, Filipio was wrong. There has been banger after banger after banger after banger. I don't know what this guy's talking about. He's talking gibberish to me. We're just going to create a new browser. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh boy, we got some partial nudity and some sexual themes. That's what I'm talking about. So to all my Final Fantasy style enjoyers out there, this is going to be a treat. And if you're not, maybe this will sway your decision. Oh, and by the way, if Marionette and Boneless are still here, trust me, this will not spoil anything. As far as I can remember. My theory is that he believes there are no good games because none of them paid off financially for him. So there is a direct correlation between if a game is successful, if he's making money off of it. If he's not making money off of it, then it's not a good game. It could literally be, well, okay, hold on. That may not be right because he had to play Baldur's Gate 3 and he absolutely hated playing that game. He absolutely hated playing that game. But he made the most money off of it. So shit, if I made $100 every time I played Baldur's Gate 3, shit, what the hell are we even doing here, bro? Like, what are we even doing?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh wait, new expansion for the MMO? Oh yes, BPA, there certainly is. And we're gonna be checking it out right here, right now. This is Dawn Trail, check it out. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Well, for once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
There's a lot of Final Fantasy IX references in this expansion. The same way Endwalker had a lot of Final Fantasy IV references.
Just wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me, Woklamat.
Furries unite, but stay away from me.
And so does our ship cast off from the docks.
In here, sounds good? Sounds good to me.
Of course. That battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
By the way, the Warrior of Light totally look maxing right there. The road to adventure beckons once more. Beautiful backgrounds, the Pictomancer. There's the Cactuars style. The promise of a thrilling journey. Well, I sure hope so.
Will compete in the right of succession.
There's Estinian, the Dragoon.
Decide who takes my place as Dawn Serpent.
Pigs maxing. Oh, that's definitely going down in the notepad.
Can change for the better. I am bound to no one.
Woklamat, protector of peace and soon to be Dawn servant.
A waste of time. I can always take what I need later.
A path to discovery.
Our nation is a fortress, and its people the bricks with which it is built.
A rich tapestry of history. Look at all these beast tribes, bro. We're gonna be doing a lot of side quests for them so we can get good with them. Furries in shambles. My furrydom ends at bunny and cat girls. Anything beyond that? Maybe raccoons. Maybe raccoons.
Never dying, free from hardship and conflict.
Lalafell, get fucked.
All this time, it was here, the city of gold.
But the road will be a difficult one. Oh yeah, in the futuristic city. The city of gold, fraught with untold pearls.
Could it be?
Hell yeah. I fucks with this game heavy. I love everything about it. Are you prepared to answer the call? The Soken soundtrack, the graphics is updated.
The key remains shrouded in mystery.
The writing and the voice acting is excellent.
What
What is this relic of theirs? Who made it? And to what end?
And it's also very anime. All of my weebs out there will appreciate Dawn Trail because it's very, well, the entire Final Fantasy 14 series is very anime. There's Dawn Trail, ladies and gentlemen.
With your strength, could you have held fast to that which is dear without sacrifice?
So I'm gonna pause you right there. So check this out. Last year, this time last year, it was around July, I think. The Final Fantasy 14 producers have a live letter. They do live letters to promote their latest expansions and patches and all of that stuff. So I remember it was around this time last year. It was actually very, very, very hot outside. We were in the middle of a heat wave, in fact. And so after I did my morning DDR stream, I went outside and I took my iPad with me because the live letter was happening that day. And I thought, screw it. I'm going to be poolside. It is scorching hot outside. Let me go ahead and just watch a little bit of this live letter. I ended up watching the whole thing. I had to keep the iPad in the shade because it was so hot outside, and they debuted Dawn Trail, the aesthetic, the theme, all of this. And it was like a summer defining moment for me, if I can just be vulnerable for a second. There was nothing that I'm going to say. There's nothing that I could say that's going to describe the idea in my head that I'm going to forever remember last year when I swam in the pool during a hot day, seeing the Dawn Trail trailer in the pool. You know, it just seems like it was like the perfect moment. It was a perfect encapsulation of time, and it was just something that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. So weird, huh? Isn't Final Fantasy 14 the game Square Enix publicly apologized for some reason? Correct me if I'm wrong. No, you are very correct, Misu. You're very correct, and thank you for continuing the conversation about it. That was the game of Final Fantasy 14 when it first came out. It did not do very well. It was a terrible MMO game. It was a terrible game, and pretty much Square Enix was like, okay, we either drop this MMO completely or we take a year, get a brand new producer, and rebuild it from the ground up. And so that's what they did. At the end of 0.1, and this is a video essay in itself. What they did was, and if you're a fan of Final Fantasy VII, you'll appreciate this, there was this moon called Dalamud, which was hanging above in the air. Think of it like Meteor from Final Fantasy VII. That is where the red moon that Bahamut was in. And this is actually a quest line that you follow through later on in the game. But essentially, they ended the first run of Final Fantasy XIV with the red moon Dalamud falling to the planet, and then some redacted happens, and then it's off to the game. They literally wiped the slate clean with a meteor falling on the entire land, and then a Realm Reborn happens. And a Realm Reborn to Heaven's Ward to Stormblood to Shadowbringers to Endwalker, and then to now Dawn Trail is everything after. And this game is probably the only thing that's keeping Square Enix financially viable at this moment. They are so, not performing well. If it wasn't for Final Fantasy XIV and Yoshi P, Square Enix would probably not get half of the attention or reverie. Reverie, is that the correct word? You gotta forgive me, I'm all buttered up today. I'm buttered up! Bro, I love this game. So much so that I'm watching the video with all of you guys and gals and talking about it. But of course, some say that live reacting to videos is the lowest form of entertainment. This is like easy mode, apparently. But who am I to,
Really? You're a fucking moron.
Who am I? So that explains the sad but immensely cool trailer animation back then with the sad music. It was when I played the 30 free days. Should pick it up again. It was mega fun. I would highly recommend you do so, my friend. BPA.
Would be working on a Final Fantasy 9
All right, so this one is actually going to be talking about what happened during the keynote. This is all of the news and notes coming out of the keynote where they were hyping up the release of Dawn Trail. So this is kind of a summarization of I think this was like a 14-hour stream. No, maybe 7-hour stream. It was a very long stream, so ain't no way we're sitting through all that. If you wanted that type of coverage, I would highly recommend you check out the content creator named Mr. Happy. I actually follow him and his escapades in the world of Eorzea, which is the name of the world there, or the planet. So what was it that put Square Enix into financial trouble again? So Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was not performing as they thought it would. They had high expectations of it. And I mean, it's a great game. I would say it's a 10 out of 10 game, but Game of the Year potential, wait till Shadow of the Erdtree comes out. But like, essentially, it's the perfect Final Fantasy VII game. I find it to be even better. I feel like it surpassed the original. I'm a huge slut for maintaining the old feeling and tradition of things. But this game just blows the original out the water. It's not perfect by any means, but I feel like it is everything I wanted in a remake of a Final Fantasy VII game and more. So I will forever say that out loud. But essentially, Square Enix properties are not doing well, and they spend a lot of money buying other IPs like Tomb Raider, like, God, I'm drawing a blank here because I'm also very high. But essentially, Square Enix has some projections. It didn't align with what actually happened in reality, and so they're kind of selling off intellectual properties, I think. And they're also not stating how many sales they made of certain games, which is telling in itself. But once again, I'm not a business owner. All I do is just professionally wrestle, do graphic design, get high, and play video games on stream. All right, let's continue.
To which he asked people to check their sources and do some fact-checking, saying that he is not working on Final Fantasy IX. So there were various different interviews that got that wrong, and he wanted to put them right. It starts then the official live letter with a trailer. This trailer I'm not going to show.
It is a accidental life VPA, and it is all thanks to my in real life female style waifu. If it wasn't for her, none of this would be possible. So big ups to my heart, whom I was enjoying her beautiful visage earlier today, floating in the pool.
You anything from, because it is incredibly
Dark Side Phil style business
if you do
divisions.
Want to go watch that, of course there are the links on screen.
Big shout outs to the in real life female waifu. We love her. I love her more though.
Analysis and a bit of a breakdown as a separate video, but this live letter does actually.
So we just saw that launch trailer.
Spoilers. So if you want to turn around now, you know, that's really the point to do so, but I won't be talking about the trailer any more than that, other than there's the links to go check that out. They say they're on track for early access to be released on the 28th, obviously, of this month. They're working very hard up to the last minute.
There's the guy right there, Yoshi P, the one that brought
launch.
Final Fantasy XIV back from Oblivion.
He's having a summer vacation this year, to which he says he'll probably be working on the plot for 8.0. The man does not get any rest. They just finished the media tour, obviously, and they're excited to see the content being posted online on various media outlets. And the build apparently in the media tour that I myself was included and played on was an early build back from May around Yoshida's birthday, apparently. So quite old.
Happy birthday,
so
Yoshida.
They've come a long way since then. Potencies are not final. They've seen a lot of people talking about them, especially on Black Mage, etc.
by the way.
They have changed a great deal since that build, so not to worry, and things will be very different, as you
Final Fantasy XIV is like the best representation of Final Fantasy. It uses homages and themes and aesthetics from all of the Final Fantasy games.
Run-up to launch. They do actually want to show gameplay in this and reveal as much as possible, hence some of the spoilers. So talking about new cities and areas, first some PowerPoint.
And by the way, good luck pronouncing any of this shit, bro. I may have a speech impediment, but this is like Cruel and Unusual Punishment. It took me years to remember Alizé's name, Estidian, Benevelza. Like, come on now. Like, these names are ridiculous.
Picture here. They say it's a very diverse area in terms of cultures and races that coexist in this land. They tried their best to show that in the various details they included. They also showed this beautiful night picture with all the lanterns.
By the way, they got new lighting effects and updated graphics for a 10-year-old game. So I can't wait to see my Warrior of Light in high definition 4K 60 frames per second.
Urkapacha, then, these mountains you see in the picture that they said here will be traveling towards them. So they're not just set pieces, they're actually there and they will be involved.
There's
in
llamas. We got llamas, boys.
The big
Llama is back on the menu.
With that second picture there looking pretty awesome as well, with not many other details mentioned. Kozama Uka, then, the giant waterfalls with 2 tiers of landscape and other waterfalls. They say the groundwater here is very clear. They say when the water hits the ground, it actually mixes with the mud, so they spent a lot of time on those specific graphical details to get it right, so it wasn't just clear water all the way through. The second picture here of this Moblin base, then, presumably
Moblin, we out here moblin.
Tribe-related quest
My favorite
lines.
part of this game is when they said it's moblin time.
We've not really seen much of. This is the jungle zone. They tried their best to say here that they gave off the idea of tropical warm climates, but with
which
dense
is also awesome, by the way. The whole summer vibe. We've got the summer of Stepmania going on, starting all over again tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Below the actual
to
canopy
noon.
of the trees, you get a bioluminescence bringing that sort of almost nightlife to life, with all of that vibrance, and that goes through the creatures as well, both flora and fauna. Next, they show Shaloni.
Shaloni is like the Wild West. They have an entire section of the map that is dedicated to the Western world.
Ugly or something. And the second picture actually shows this rail station.
Look
and
at this!
Windmill.
Like they're straight taking up the Wild West.
Default.
This is crazy.
So,
I love
obviously you're going to be.
I never knew that
some
this
kind
would
of
be
face mask
represented in
here,
a Final Fantasy
as
game.
There's lots of sandstorms. Heritage found, then, this is just beautiful, showing all of this neon purple. The second picture shows this sort of rundown town with cobbled roads, and I think everybody collectively
that looks like
just
Alexandria.
At their, TV if they're watching it on the PlayStation.
Yo,
or
BPA, let's
screen.
go!
Alexandria. Now, that is very clear, and Yoshi P noticed the comments and did not want to confirm or deny them.
Did you buy
yes,
A Realm
Alexandria
Reborn?
Seems to be in Heritage
Did you
found
buy
in this absolute hellscape of lightning?
Heaven's
Very
Ward,
interesting. And then
Shadow, Stormblood,
This
Endwalker,
is probably the most exciting picture or series
or
of
just
pictures.
Dawn Trail, because you have to clear 10 years worth of content in order to get to Dawn Trail.
That's the first thing that my eye is immediately attracted to.
But it is condensed, it is streamlined. It's a lot easier to play through those parts of the game.
They say the billboards will have moving pictures, they're not static, so that's something. And then the second image is kind of like of a car park area with futuristic
complete pack, no Dawn Trail yet. I'll wait with that till next month. BPA, welcome, one of us. One of us.
Can't wait to get those as mounts. I have to do it, right? They do say here,
if you need any help figuring out how to make this game work the way that you want it to, just reach out. Let me know. I will gladly help you out.
Else, but that's exciting to say the least. Hopefully we get some more of this.
Gladly.
Set pieces and things. And that's all the zones they want to show us at this time. Now they talk about key characters. Some of this is a bit spoilery. We'll skip through it. We're not going to read the stuff on screen. There'll be a large and diverse array of characters in the expansion, they say, and they want to touch up on
Look
a
at
few.
that furry cat girl midriff.
Like I say, if you want to pause the actual video and read this yourself, I think that's probably for the best, but they show off Wook Lamart, Erenville,
Erenville's the new husbando.
Bankred, Oriange,
the
Dawn Servant, Galul Jaja,
say that 3 times fast. Zalja,
Bakul Jaja, and the mysterious enigmatic Maiden. They say there are more characters.
Maiden is the new waifu, by the way. New waifu hype.
I just wanted to draw attention to these specifically here, so probably the most important to that storyline. New gear then. These characters look rough and tough, they say, in their attire. Some people enjoy role-playing with their characters, Yoshi P says, so these outfits will be available to the players. They are actually crafted pieces of gear, confirmed to be just for roleplay. These are not pieces of gear used for combat specifically, so these aren't
they got the gimp suits,
combat gear or anything like that. These are just nice sets. I especially like the
for role play
shoulders. We have demonstrations here with Dark.
There it is. Look at all these
gear.
spikes. This is Mad Max level shit, bro.
We have a Reaper here. Then we have a Machinist.
That's pretty
and
dope,
here's
though.
The Ninja.
Ninja looking pretty dope.
And then I believe this is the caster, right?
Yeah, look at this.
Looking pretty cool.
With
actually,
the leather jacket and the white
different,
tee underneath with the spikes, bro. What is this game, dude?
But I can imagine
what is
it
this
being
game?
very diverse between them. Role quests then. So role quests make a return. You'll be able
Bunny
to do
girl.
these at level 92. Separated as usual into 5 different disciplines.
I still need to
with
work on
5
all of
different
my
quest
role
lines.
quests.
There'll be extra quests as well for completing all 5 of these, which apparently will be added in patch 7.1 or later. So definitely do these. The last ones were really good, the void quests. So if you haven't done the previous ones, go do those. There are obviously 2 new jobs to the game, Viper and Pictomancer, which means 2 new sets of quests.
Zidane hype, Final Fantasy
will
9.
incorporate the history of the job explained through storyline, as we see through these pictures, with characters standing around what looks like this dead character. This is a Realm Reborn area, as you can tell, although the graphics update looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks completely different.
I had to double take that. Incredible. We have the Pictomancer quest as well.
Moogle. We got Moogles, boy.
All fluffy and awesome with that new graphical update with a new fur shader, which looks amazing. And then the
They look
Pictomancer
definitely
questline
better than the
will
Final
feature
Fantasy VII
Moogles
Rebirth
throughout the
Moogles, I'll say
entirety.
that.
Here is a flashback sort of sequence in Kugane they show. They say in one of these role
Kugane,
quests,
when
the
Final Fantasy
Namazu
XIV was in
tribe
their
do appear
weeb
as well.
era,
So
in
that's
their
an
weeb
instant
arc.
unlock and level up for
Excuse me.
New Disciple
I'm
of Hand
sorry.
and Land quests will featuring the
Look at that. They
Pali
got
here in this picture.
the 3 sisters
Waku Meki
gear.
Meki deliveries. I've probably butchered that. Is the name of this new sort of area.
These names are getting out of control.
This name apparently means a string of precious stones that form a necklace in the Pelu Pelu language. So there we go. There are 5 quest lines in total, with blacksmith, armor, and goldsmith being in one category, carpenter, leather worker, and weaver being in a second category, alchemist and culinarian.
This has nothing to do with me. I don't do hand, disciple of the hand, or disciple of the land. It's essentially crafting
these quests will all take place in Tural and specifically start in Tulialal. You'll get a glimpse into the different tribes and cultures, they say, so this will be quite an interesting set of quests looking at the backstory of these peoples. There will also be a new quest line added in 7.1 or later, they say, that will be available for people who have done all 5 of those quest lines as usual. New dungeons then. The first is the level 91 dungeon. Second, we have a look at this one in Urka Pacha, it looks like, with this mountainside. Third, we have this dungeon that looks like in.
I can't wait to run these dungeons so frequently and often that I just pull wall to wall and hope that the healer can keep up.
Fourth is this neon-filled dungeon.
That's pretty cool.
It's fairly obvious where that is. Looks great. And personally, it looks like something from Star Wars. There's lots of variety in these dungeons, from forest to neon cityscapes. They say the main dungeons that are in the MSQ should be as expected in terms of their level and difficulty, and they shouldn't differ too far. This comes as people have sort of asked about the difficulty. They say you don't need to be afraid of it being too challenging. That said, they say once you go into expert dungeons, you may be reminded that this is for experts, end quote. They want you to be excited at level cap.
Don't get mad that we made this game hard.
New trials,
when you asked for the game to be hard.
Gameplay here, just briefly showing this arena, deliberately not showing too much of this though. This is the model of the boss Valagarmanda. So this is a new featured character and main antagonist for that, which is obviously the new trial. It will change appearances throughout the fight, they say, so it's not just this only form you see here. They show the first part of the fight, which has this big warning on screen with lots of AoEs. There's not too much to really get from this, to which
Look at these
Yoshida
effects, dude. The shadows.
an AoE and then falls off quickly to stop us seeing more
AoE.
of the fight. They say the message that pops up, they added in this expansion to help new players to help pay attention.
Pay attention,
This shows
stupid.
what the bosses are going to be doing next.
Mate, say, what is up, pimp?
Get used to, but it will help with alarming.
How are you, my friend?
What to do next?
I hope you,
yes,
you,
they hope that
are
players
staying
will
happy,
utilize
healthy, and
this
most
new
importantly,
feature,
hydrated.
And they want to implement it into older content
Man,
in the future.
hold up. Speak your mind, King. What's wrong with you? What's
Say it may
good?
take
What's not good?
Some time
We
to
are
do so,
here for you.
But they do want to give
I feel like maybe you need some magical butter as well.
So they take a short break.
Good
After the
Elden
break,
Ring
they go
pushing.
into a discussion about the new
Hell
Raid
yeah.
series, the Arcadion.
That's what I'm going to be doing.
They don't spoil too much in the storyline, obviously, but they do show us it in the game. The platform here, looking down below at the laser
and with the
beams,
Resident Evil
if you
lasers.
fall off, you're probably going to be sliced to death. They then
Oh yes,
pan
and
the
happy
camera up
Father's Day
slowly
to all that
show the
celebrate.
first boss,
And
which
fuck
is in
my
this arena.
absentee father.
This is this sort of cat person. It looks like a sort of dual arena out of something else, like Final Fantasy VII. Cheering fans are adorned on these sort of stands behind in the background with advertising banners showing all manner of different products. There is an announcer voice as well, which shouts, "The Black Cat!" So presumably that's the name of the first boss. We see a series of mechanics, and we also see the tank buster.
Ellie!
That basically
Hello!
to not show any more of the fight, obviously not wanting to spoil much more.
How are you? How are you?
They also
oh yeah, Mage, thank you so much for the tab up.
They say the drastic difference in tone between those two areas makes you think that is this the same game? A good question.
I'm back from the Matrix. Well,
PowerPoint
welcome back,
returns.
my
the new
friend.
Raid series starts in 7.01. Savage opens up in 7.05, and they joke about wanting to keep the name of the actual Raid series secret, but they actually forget to censor it in the gameplay they showed. If you want to go back,
I wonder why that
and,
first one didn't
Google
show up. I'm
that.
good, Ellie. Thank you.
can-
I am. It is. I'm high as fuck. This edibles vase was full of edible magical butter. And I've been drinking this entire pot of coffee all day long. So much so that this morning, after I had my first cup of the coffee of magical butter inside of it, I went and took a nap until like noon. I thought it was a Cowify mug. I mean, it could be anything you want it to be, but this was originally a vase for those edible bouquets that you send the people. I don't know how I came across this, but this is my go-to mug when I drink stuff, because I literally drink a pot of coffee every day, and I have a problem. I need to address it.
I'm not going to mention it here because they didn't intend to. The new
But
treasure
today
map
has been
dungeon
an
will also
excellent
be
day
added in
of just being all
7.05,
buttered up.
which is Cenote
Watch the second
Jaja
episode
Gural.
of The
As you
Boys
can see
season
with
4,
the second picture, as it
which
gets
was
more
incredible.
vibrant as you go
And
through
then
this, with
tonight, I
pink
cannot wait to
trees
have a
and city
delicious
of gold,
steak dinner.
Making use of the graphics update on making gold look very shiny. I can't wait to see what this looks like in a game, at my own resolution.
And then after we
Gathering
watch
and
this
crafting
video
adjustments
and then 2
gathering
Elden Ring
first.
videos, we're actually
There's
going to be
obviously
playing
new
some
actions
Elden
and
Ring.
traits, new gathering points,
Chesburger,
new
welcome
regional
back.
folklore. The new scripts are
Welcome.
called orange gatherer scripts, so that's the new scripts. They're going for orange color.
I hope
Integrity,
you,
which is the
I
remaining
mean,
number
yes,
of gathering
you are
attempts,
happy,
will now
healthy,
be
and
shown in the
hydrated.
gathering interface now.
The gang's
which is
all here. Thank you all
awesome.
for hanging out
And
with us here
additionally,
today.
the fishes, the
It is
fish guide
a
will now
Sussy
display the
Baka
type of
Sunday,
pork required for
brought to you by the
catch,
Magical
which
Butter
is
Machine.
really
That's right, the
good
Magical
instead
Butter
of you
Machine.
having to tab
The
out and
only
look this
thing
up on Google.
that will make me say,
Crafters then, new actions and traits.
I can't go
New
because I
recipes.
can't drive right now.
New master recipes will come in 7.05,
facts.
they say. And there's obviously the new scripts, Orange Crafter
And welcome to the Level 99 live stream, where we are feeling fine all the way up here
New elegant tombstone.
at Level
So
99.
obviously in the media tour,
You're
we
a
saw
fucking
the
moron.
aesthetic tombstone, which is kind of like your lesser tombstone you'll be able to do as soon as you hit level 100.
Yep.
And then we've got
By the way,
elegant
we're
tombstones
live
of
reacting to this, by the way. Dawn Trail.
Heliometry. There we go.
Heliometry.
In 7.05,
Final Fantasy
when
XIV
Savage
finds
releases
new and
your
interesting
top
words that I have
gearstone
to
with a
start
much,
remembering.
Tighter restriction on the amount you can get per week.
Bruh,
Tome
I'm
gear
super
showcase
duper.
then. First of all, we have tanks.
Super
This is
duper.
the tombstone gear of heliometry,
yo.
I think it is.
Look at that.
We got Reaper.
Look at that scythe,
Then we got the
bro.
aiming one.
Let's go.
We got Healer.
The Astrologian.
And then we got Pictomancer here, specifically for caster. Very cool. And then they show us this stuff. They say we're not going to tell you
Nothing
where it's
beats a
from,
lazy
but it
Sunday nap,
probably is
Ellie.
the Raid
That's what I'm
series.
saying.
It's the cybernetic sort of stuff. They only show a few examples. First, the tank, obviously.
Yeah, she knows.
Then we have the Dragoon.
Ellie knows.
Now, This was especially
Look at
exciting.
this.
Note the Vieira ears that are popping out there of that helm.
That's right, folks.
Very nice, very nice.
That's right, folks. You weren't able to do this before, but if you are a Vera bunny girl, your ears will now stick out of the gear. This is truly next gen shit. 7.0 Final Fantasy 14 shit right here.
I even zoom in to show you that specifically.
Girl, same. I took a great nap.
Then we have a ninja.
Ninja looking.
And finally a black mage.
Dope.
So yeah, really cool looking
Black
gear.
mage.
Can't wait
It's
to
a
get some
Lalafell.
of that and see how
I can't
dies.
comment on that.
Additionally, the number of bicolor gemstones we can hold is being increased to 1,500 instead of 1,000, so we can collect more to exchange for all those new
Bicolor
items from the
gemstones
shared
come
fate
from
system.
completing
So that's
fates
exciting.
out in the open
A new
world.
feature is being added to give you the ability to hide nearby players when close to an NPC or object.
That's good too, because every expansion, no matter what, everybody's going to go to the same quest givers, which means everybody's going to conjugate in the same area, which then leads to clogged up servers. Plus, it ruins your immersion if you have to wade through a dozen or so other players in order to get to the quest. You don't even see what they're doing.
The default mode still exists as it is currently in the game, but as you can see, you can toggle this on to avoid having to click through players. There's also another option to make it so that they hide when you interact with the NPC, specifically through dialogue, so that you won't miss the movement and acting if that NPC does so.
Yeah, the emotes.
They show footage of those features working here, and you can make it so that it also shows party members if you wish to as well, as an extra option.
That's pretty cool.
They mentioned they want to add more quality of life adjustments like this in the future, but this is a great start. Next, emotes and recipes for delivery items will be accessible from the duty list.
Finally,
so
you don't have to
emotes,
dive
you can
into
actually
menus
just
in order
press it
to
on that
use your
quest
key
list
item
or
for a
obviously
quest
on your journal,
or do an emote.
instead of having to go into your emotes or even typing in chat, which is a really nice quality
of life
change.
update, baby.
The dyeing adjustments, obviously, we've talked about this before.
So now
on
you
this
can do
channel.
more
2 different
customizations
dyes
for
can
your
be applied to
colors.
gear. Equipment
It's not just
supporting
applied
this new functionality will be increased
all the way through. You can
every
have
patch.
2 different
there
colors.
There are some glamour items that they put a higher priority on with the release of the expansion. Obviously, everything in the
And then
expansion
they're going to go
has
back
the
in
dual
all of the
dyes,
other gear
but
sets and
everything prior
allow you
that,
to do
not
the same,
all of
but that's
it
later.
will have that available, but in the run up to 7.4 patch,
And you can
they want
see
to
like a
have as
preview
much
of it,
as
bro.
possible
Come
available to be
on.
dual
You couldn't
dyed,
do
if
that
not
before. I
everything.
love this.
So the team is working very hard behind the scenes to backdate this stuff, but it's going to take
Behind the
long
scenes
to
style.
add dual dyes to everything, which is really cool. There is an option, obviously, to set favored dyes, like we saw in a media tour videos I made, as well as the ability to save previously applied dyes, so you can apply it to multiple pieces. They also show a quick demo of the spring
I'm
outfit
sorry.
here.
I'm
The
sorry, I'm
items
just
show
being
2
silly.
pips showing that they can dual dye. 2 options, as you can see, for each dye, and then you can swap between 1 and 2 if you want to see what they look like. Say, for instance, it was red and black. You can change the bit that was red into black.
You can
and
change
so
it
on,
to black and
swap
yellow,
that
black and
around
yellow,
between
black and
slots.
yellow,
Really
black and
cool.
yellow.
They say that we need to thank the dev team for going back to redo many of their old outfits, but the dev team are happy that their work is getting a new life, new lease of life with these updates, which is really nice to hear. For faceware, then, there's a new faceware slot. Spectacles previously available via the fashion accessory feature are actually being recategorized as a new faceware category, which is interesting.
Sunglasses are back on the menu, boys.
Faceware
Thank
can
you,
be
Ellie, for
equipped and
cashing in
saved as
that
part of the gear set,
exclamation point
and they show this
SFX
in the
button.
game.
You can
So
also do
actually
exclamation
click
point
them,
DSP.
and then there are actually different color
Exclamation point
variations you can
DDR.
use.
Your
There are
technique
12,
amazes me. You're
face
awesome.
accessory.
I love your
So you don't
style.
actually
Show
dye the
me how
slot.
to
It
do
doesn't
it.
consume dyes. You just
Exclamation
choose the
point
color of, and the style difference
SF3
of whichever slot you like. So faceware will not
exclamation
actually
point
disappear in combat
MVC2.
either. So this is separate from the fashion accessory system, which uses that totally different in combat, out of combat system. The faceware stuff is just always on. It also shows in the character portraits as well, which is really exciting. So
nice.
That's a really nice bit
I'm gonna
of
get some Gunner
elaboration
glasses on
new
my
slot.
character.
They show
once we hit the
also
$50
some new
tip goal.
examples in Yaktel of new fashion accessories. This is a brand new parasol, which
Parasol,
is a see-through
let's
umbrella
go.
that
And
glows,
it's translucent.
which is absolutely awesome, as you can see in the night. Looks like something you'd get from Solution 9 or something. Very cool. A second one then
That's
here
awesome.
briefly shown is like a Valentine sort of gothic style with ribbons, which is very nice. And then a nice circular Eastern design with these bomblings on it as well in that gold. Very nice.
Come on
Whilst
now,
they're here,
drip
they
out of
say
control
They might as well
now.
show us some minions. So first of all, we see the corn minion that you might have seen on Instagram. which is pretty interesting.
Look at that corn.
A weird little dinosaur thing. Apparently, chat knew what this is. I have no idea. So if you know what this is, please
that looks like the dragon from KO Flying Squadron.
Dinosaur thingy. He's adorable. Then there's a baby leopard, adorable.
Oh, look at the baby leopard.
The fluff.
Look at these excellent emotes floating around. Thank you, Ellie.
Minions, which is cool. And then there's a kitty cat, which I badly need. I need that kitty cat.
I need that cat.
I really do.
It ran to the camera.
A baby Mamorja in a jumper, which is adorable.
Yeah, fish.
A swole cactuar, endlessly flexing. And a small alpaca. They actually show.
10 out of 10. This expansion is already better than the entirety of
minions.
A Realm Reborn to Endwalker.
In the expansion. New
alpaca hype in the chat.
First,
let's go.
We finally get wings as a mount. This is the biggest thing. They actually did it. A series of new trials will actually have the mounts be different colored wings. So your new trial series of mounts, you know how you had your lynxes and stuff like that before and your horses, it'll be different styles of wings. And when you take off, as you can see here, they sprout out with like phoenix pinions on the bottom and then allow you to fly around. This is ridiculously cool. I don't know how many people, including myself, have requested flyable mounts that are basically just wings on your character. Ever since they added the fashion accessory system with wings and you jump and then they flutter, I wanted the ability to fly off. So hopefully they do a lot more of these. I can't wait for that new trial mount series. Next is a small flying squirrel, which is absolutely adorable. As you can see, they're really making use of that glide tilt technology that they've got on mounts now. Which really looks amazing on this mount.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just such
the
a
way
good
you turn
idea
in the corner. You turn now when you're on the
I don't know
mounts.
Where this is from. This
they
is
like
Brute
tilt.
Justice as a mount. Kind of looks like Cute Justice. I don't know if this is going to be a Blue Mage thing or wherever this could be from.
Slow.
Yeah, I really can't wait to get that myself. It's really cool. Next, they've got this flying bird thing, which is very cool. It's got this kind of gold all over it. They hinted at this being a new gill sync mount, so who knows how much that will cost, but
I'm not paying that.
Unique model.
They got enough of my money. I've spent thousands of dollars on this game.
Which should be no surprise to many
yes,
people. It's
let's
very
go.
Fluffy and cute. And I can't wait to get
this right here. It's the true end game.
Flying around here. We've never seen this in game before. As you can see, there's lots of different trees and then other lands around that with these canopies of trees that you're actually above. So it's a completely different zone. And then you can go below that canopy and it comes alive with this bioluminescence on basically everything. It's like something out of Avatar.
Nice.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Nice.
With the work they've put into this, there doesn't actually need to be any interruptions anymore. So the graphic stuff, there's actually better transitions between sections of the same area. They actually show this as they go up this rock face where it's in this dark area, and as it transitions to the area above the canopy with completely different lighting. The lighting and shadows do look incredible, even on this low bitrate stream and this footage from a stream that's in very low bitrate. When you're watching
thank you.
So back to the power
You're gonna make me blush.
So back to the PowerPoint then. For up to 60
I was
minutes
also
of in-game
high when that
playtime,
emote
players
was
may
screen
adjust their
capped.
character as
Surprise.
many times as they like with the new Fantasia system. They talked about this previously, which is really cool. That's always nice.
I'm not changing my appearance, by the way. I'm not using that Fantasia.
The game is getting updates. This has customizations for the main menu and wallpaper settings.
I may have to cut my character's hair though,
allows you
because I
to do
cut
hunting,
mine.
mining, botany, fishing, retain adventures now on the go from your phone. They wanted to add more outside of the game abilities to do in the game, so they went with retain adventures. This does require an in-app currency, Kupo nuts or Mog coins, they say, so there has to be a cost behind that.
Of course.
Things like additional placement slots and other housing they just mention here, because there's no other section of it in this live letter, will come at a much later time in the 7.x series. However, they do want to show off some of the new house types. So this first picture shows this
van down by the river,
a medium-sized plot with foliage on these beautiful roofs.
That's like
here.
very
Obviously, new textures,
cozy
new
core,
graphical
right?
style, and then there's also this picture of it at night, which is really, really cool. Then this picture
imagine
shows how
taking
you'll be able to
someone
get on
home
the
to that
roof here with various
here's my
seating.
here's my digs.
This is actually on a large size plot as well.
Can you take me home?
Here. Very cool. So there's an upcoming schedule of updates to the game then. June 28th is obviously Dawn Trail Early Access. Then Tuesday, July the 2nd, the game officially launches.
That's almost here.
7.01 releases 2 weeks later with the Arcadian Normal Raid series. And then on the 30th, which is 2 weeks later after that, we actually get the 7.0
typical upcoming schedule,
which comes with that, the
architecture.
master recipes.
They've done this
game,
every time, every patch.
of heliometry, if I could say that word, I would. The treasure map dungeons and the Arcadian Savage in 7.05. So once again, that's the 30th of July, so bear that in mind. The early access will require a 48 maintenance, they say, 48 hours of maintenance, so please be aware of that and plan accordingly if you wanted to do anything else in the game before that. The file size, they say, is 55 gigabytes just for the expansion patch on Windows.
That's not bad.
So the whole game is now way over 90 gigabytes in size.
Well,
the PlayStation 5 patch, they say, is compressed more, so it's around 75 gigabytes, and PS4 is 80 gigabytes. The Xbox, they say, Xbox users will have to overwrite the entire patch and re-download, so it's close to 100 gigabytes.
Damn!
To be advised. So it looks like the Xbox users have a slight other hurdle to hop on. So you want to download that as soon as possible when the maintenance allows, right? As soon as the patch is available. So that's a wrap on the main content then. Just briefly talking about announcements. There's 2 new Uniqlo shirts being available from June
now,
the 24th
these shirts look pretty
US.
dope. I wouldn't mind rocking
these
them.
are also available in the EU region as well as Japan, as well as the US, but they didn't include it on the slide here. There's a new collaboration with Gongcha.
I don't know what Gongcha is, but apparently it's huge.
NA,
so
and Japan.
good for Gongcha.
Apparently you purchase any 3
Look at that
drinks
Chocobo
in one
enjoying its
transaction and you will get the
Gongcha,
King
whatever that
Porksine
is.
Mount. This is from Wednesday, July the 17th and lasts until Wednesday, the 28th of August. So Gongcha, I'm going to have to see where in
Gongcha
the UK there is some establishments of that. I want to get that mount. There's also the
looks
Samsung
like it, yeah.
and
Some
Final
sort of
Fantasy 14 crossover with internal
SSD
with a
collaborative storage box,
which is Japanese only. Apparently, you buy SSDs.
Probably a drink I'll never be able to
box
have because of the
Final
carbs and the
Fantasy
sugar.
14 characters on it, apparently. There's also the Dolphy Dream, Volks, Dolls, Alphino and Alizé
Alphino and Alizé
throughout this broadcast. But they announced this is the second
twin
collab they've done with
siblings.
Volks, and as you can see on the shelf here, the detail is quite amazing.
They look kind of weird. They look like dolls.
Yoshi P
I don't
also
like that.
tries to compare his face to the dolls for some reason, which is hilarious. So I included that picture as well. Secret Lab chair collab. We probably already know about this. Those chairs look amazing.
Bro,
if you're looking for a cool chair,
Final Fantasy
then
14
Secret Labs
gaming
has you
chair.
covered. And there's also
I'll
a free
protect
login
my virginity
campaign
with
currently
this.
underway until Thursday, the 20th of June.
There you go, everybody. If you're not on board yet,
96
you can play up to
hours
96
for
hours for free.
You should get on that before that runs out. There's also a 60% sale on Endwalker in the complete edition. With the
there you
details
go.
On screen there.
I think BPA
a pop-up store in Paris will be on the
got on that.
21st of June until the 23rd of June, which is a Sunday. If you live around
It's a
Paris
drink like
and you want to
boba.
go by and buy some,
I've never had boba,
cool
but I do
stuff
love
that's 14
booba.
related. There's also Japan Expo Paris in obviously this year, where Yoshi P will be in attendance on stage shows if you want to go to those as well. There's
It's
also
so easy. You just go on
in
Twitter and go,
Cologne,
I dare
Germany, where
anybody
Square
to
Enix will be there.
show
with Final
booba
Fantasy
in the
14.
comments, and then
there's
it
PAX
happens.
Australia
There you
on
go,
the
Ellie.
11th to the 13th
Also
of
a
October.
booba fan, I could
And
tell,
as
obviously.
usual, wrapping up this, there will be an official patch
Love
note
seeing
reading
him bouncing
on Thursday,
around.
the 27th of June at 3 a.m. PDT, which is 10 GMT or 11 BST and 8 p.m. AEST with Japanese only audio if you want to go watch them read through the patch notes. It will also feature special guest, the Japanese voice actor for Kryl, Yoshino Nanjo, so that should be awesome if you like
Good for
their
them.
work. So there we go. That's everything. I personally enjoyed the live letter. It was many hours of content.
Sure was.
Spread out, lots of footage. Not a massive amount of new details were shown, but I especially like the quality of life additions and also the previews at mounts and minions. I do think that they showed quite a lot in the trailer, though. So if you want to avoid spoilers, I wouldn't watch that. But if you don't mind, there's a lot to delve into. Yeah. I'll probably end up watching that repeatedly now, back to back, and I'm sure many of you will do too. So thank you for watching so much. I'll see you all next time. Let me know what you thought of this live letter, and if you're excited for June the 28th like me. Much love.
Wait a minute, guys. Guys. Something just went down in the vortex. Something just went down in the vortex. I'm not going to put it on stream, but I just need to see it on Twitter real quick. You're probably going to be able to hear this. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Tell me if you can hear this. Oh, yo! No! No! Good thing you didn't. Hold on. Hold on. Bro. No fucking way. No fucking way. Holy shit. Holy shit. Bro, okay, so let me just say this in PG terms. So Darkside Phil right now is enjoying himself some DSP reacts. And in order to keep that channel going, he has his members recommend videos for him to live react to. Kind of like what we're doing here, only for free. Somebody literally just submitted a video for him to live react to. It was Carl Sagan's greatest speech, but it was then something spliced in. It was somebody getting blasted, and you could hear the sounds of the clapping. Cheeks were getting clapped. And it was oh my God. It was a good thing I didn't live react to it live. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I can't beat that. Yo, I can't beat that.
I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Well, I guess I'm an adult now. I just saw somebody getting their cheeks clapped. Both legs spread wide for the world to see. There was one there and then another spinning around. All right, so before we get into Elden Ring proper, I need to see what the streets are saying about this. Let's see what the streets are saying about this. Top all-time ESP moment right here. Yo. Yo! Snuck in that second glance like he recognized an old friend. Yo! People are this is an AI summarization of what just happened on Phil's stream. People are reacting to a disturbing clip that was recently accidentally aired during a live stream. They're expressing disgust, horror, and surprise at the graphic content. Many viewers are in shock, and some are wondering how the clip was aired in the first place. Yo, every repost. We are reposting the fuck out of this, boy. Bro. Holy shit. Love that our boy Derek finally got featured on Reacts. Holy shit. I knew this would happen one day. DSP got trolled with porn on his Reacts show. Jesus Christ. Bro. This is insane. This is insane. If I had watched this in real time, then my channel would be shut down. I would be surprised. I would be shocked if Phil's channel wasn't shut down. This is the top DSP moment in my whole life. All I could do is talk about it. I'm afraid to talk about it Did he turn to stone instantly? I mean, he is married and everything. You know what, though, BPA? I bet you Phil got bricked up. He got bricked up. I'm going to just say it. It was a trans-style enjoyer of somebody else's member. Let's just put it like that. There was somebody that was dressed up as a female-style human, but also equipped with male-style equipment. And I'm just being fair. I'm just being descriptive. I'm not putting opinions or judgments or criticisms on any of this. I'm just describing what I saw. All right? I saw helicopter dick. All right? I saw it. Somebody was getting blasted in their ass. And yeah, Dark Side Phil. He hit it with the 1-2. He hit him with the like he was disgusted by it. But then as he was turning to go and get it banned or blocked or whatever, he gave it a second look. So I think he liked what he saw. And I'm not going to front. I mean, I've seen worse out there in the world. Ugh. Here it is, censored. It was on full on display of the stream. You might be able to find it on Raw Phil. Hey, they call me DSP. I uploaded a clip of you intentionally showing porn. I know how these things mysteriously get taken down. Just remember that stream where I did talk in detail how I'd legally fuck you up and report SH for distribution of... Wow. DSP detractors, be careful about posting that shit. What happened today here? You absolutely get false DMCA'd by Supercuck. Yikes. Yeah. Fucking legendary. Yeah, it was a video of Carl Sagan's of a video, and then it jump cuts to somebody get in thigh highs. I'm looking at it right now, wearing thigh high socks. This person has long black hair, wearing like a top, and then you can obviously see like a top part. And yep, they are definitely all there, leaving nothing to the imagination. Okay, so off to Elden Ring. I feel like it's all downhill from here.
How could it come to this?
Speaking of, hey, yo.
Long ago, the Elden Ring brought prosperity to the lands
This is what happens when you don't preview your videos.
It was shattered. The shards, great runes of enormous power, fell into the hands of the demigods. And although the demigods fought for control, in the end, Tarnished accepts Melena's request and begins a journey to bring her to the base of the Erd Tree. As they explore, the lands between become known to the Tarnished, and they gain power, shaping themselves in their own way.
Oh, hey, can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see me.
Throughout their journey,
thanks for sticking around. Sorry for those production
unlikely allies.
Death has left its mark once again.
Technical difficulties.
Rise with us against
that
the
DSP episode, that DSP thing was so wild and crazy. It shut the whole stream down.
And fearsome foes that stand in their way.
There's Mog, I think.
Well, a lowly Tarnished, playing as a lord. I command thee, kneel!
So much power in the hands of one Tarnished, growing in strength with every trial, who crossed the fog to the lands between to stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord. The lands between are yours to discover.
Bro, this looks awesome. Jazz Cup! Speaking of awesome. How are you, my friend? Welcome. I hope you are happy, healthy, and hydrated. And beware, don't watch DSP's latest DSP reacts. Let's go.
Well, Shadow of the Erd Tree is 1 week away at this point. That is not long at all. And the question is, are you ready? Have you gotten your character ready? Is your save ready? Are you prepared to go into the DLC? So in this video, we're going to talk about whether or not you are prepared and what you should do between now and a week from now. So the first thing we're going to talk about is character level.
Shout out to Fextra Life, literally my go-to when it comes to anything Elden Ring.
From the play sessions that happened a few weeks ago, we know that characters were set at level 150 to go play that demo. So that's, you know, kind of loosely what the level the developers are recommending for that area. And also we know that the difficulty of the DLC is roughly that of endgame of Elden Ring. So areas like Mountaintops of the Giants or Mikla's Halig Tree, areas like that is roughly going to be the difficulty of the beginning areas of the DLC. Theoretically, it will get harder as you progress, but that would mean that your character should be around a level 150. We also do know, too, as well, that enemies hit very, very hard compared to enemies in the base game, and that's because of the Skadu tree fragments that, you know, increase the damage protection that you have and also increase your damage. So as you pick up more of these, enemies will do less and less damage. But initially, when you don't have any of these, you're going to take lots of damage from even.
I'm not even going to lie, that monk stuff looks pretty dope. I want to do dive kicks. If this game will let me do dive kicks, I'm respecting. I'm going straight into monk status.
Or something
Look at
like
that.
So do not neglect your vigor when you go into the DLC. Make sure you have a good amount and that your character level is high enough that you can handle endgame content easily. And the next thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that you have a significant number of golden seeds and sacred tears, and you've turned them in at sites of grace in order to upgrade not only the number of flasks that you have, but also how effective those flasks are. If you go into the DLC and you do not have a lot of flasks, you're going to
catch a lot of flack.
So regardless of what character level you go in, if you have 5 flasks, it's going to be tough for you, even if your character level is 200 or 250 or something like that. You're going to have a harder time. So make sure that you have a good amount of flasks and they've been upgraded in significant ways. They don't have to be maxed out. I myself don't have them completely maxed out on my character, but I have like 90 or 95% of them. I recommend,
I can't even fight it. I've been trying to like look like I'm not fucking high for a minute now. I just can't. I can't anymore.
Flasks to rely on and that they're strong. And we have the locations of these on our Elden Ring map, so if you can't remember where they all are, or maybe you have a good amount of flasks, but you just want a few more before you go in, make sure to use our map and check out where those are in order to pick those up easily and save
I'm not retaining any of this information,
Now, the next
guys.
thing that you're going to want to get is talisman pouches. Again, this is something I covered in our previous video, but if you don't remember, you gain talisman pouches as you progress the game, and you don't actually begin the game with 4 talisman slots. You begin with 1, and as you progress, you unlock more and more. So the first one is from defeating Margit. You'll have 2 talisman slots after defeating him, and then after defeating 2 or getting 2 great runes and speaking to Finger Eater Enya, you'll be able to get a 3rd talisman pouch. So you might have to defeat, you know, like Godric and then Renala or something like that, and then go speak to Finger Eater Enya after getting their great runes. And then the last one is Godfrey, First Elden Lord, which is located at the very end of the Lendel Royal Capital. So that's quite a ways into the game, and that'll give you your 4th talisman slot. So you can see already that you're going to, you know, if you were playing organically,
that's literally
you'd
me.
Be quite a ways into the game before you had those talisman slots. Now, you can absolutely go into the DLC.
There's so much footage of you high as fuck on the internet now that if I told AI to recreate you, it would look like this.
Every little point here, you know,
you're not wrong.
A little bit lower level, you have a little bit less flasks, you have 1 less talisman slot. Is all going to add up to making it more challenging. So you probably want to make sure you're at least
11 flasks?
And
I only have like
all your talisman slots.
6.
If you're using an existing character that's already completed the game, this is not going to be an issue for you. Now, the next thing to consider is upgrade materials and bell bearings. Obviously, whatever weapon you're using, you want to have it maxed out.
I'm going to. I'm going to try tonight.
Or your melee weapon, or both. You want to make sure that they're
depends on when dinner
maxed out going
is
in
done.
There. You do the most damage possible. Additionally, you're going to want to have upgrade materials in reserve for any, you know, equipment that you pick up, any weapons or shields that you want to upgrade. So make sure that you have the bell bearings in the game. Again, we have the locations of those on the wiki if you can't remember where to get them. so that you can purchase upgrade materials. You might want to farm a bit, purchase a bunch of these so you have like a backlog of upgrade materials. So if you find a sweet weapon that you just want to crank up a bunch and see how it does in the DLC,
oh, sweet,
you can
Lois.
do that. So make sure you
Horrors
hoard
beyond
your,
my
upgrade materials, and they're ready to go for weapons that you have. If the DLC comes out and you find a weapon you want to use and you don't have any upgrade materials, you're going to be annoyed that you have to go farm them or whatever. So make sure that's prepared ahead of time. The next thing is that you have to have defeated Radon and Moog in order to enter the DLC through the Moog
I think I did that.
So if you haven't done either of these things, you need to go do those before you're going to be able to have access to the DLC.
So you mean to tell me I don't have to beat the game in order to play the DLC? I can just...
You'll probably done these things, so that's not a big deal. But Moog can be quite far into the game if you don't go the invasion route, Vari's quest line. The details of that are on the wiki, though, so if you want to speed there and you want to get there very quickly on a new character, you can check out his quest line on the wiki in order to be able to pull that off quickly. The other thing I'll say, too, that these are two of the harder bosses in Elden Ring, so if you can beat both of these bosses with your character, then you're probably going to be in pretty good shape for the DLC. If you're struggling with these bosses with a build, then you're probably going to struggle in the DLC as well. So kind of, use this as a litmus test, if you will.
I did not understand that blood
if you
ring
can barely
thing and it
finish
hits you
off
3
Moog,
times,
barely finish off Radon, then you might have a hard time on these bosses. It's not always true, because obviously as you learn the movesets, you get better at these bosses. And, you're going to have to learn the movesets of new bosses, etc. But it should give you a rough idea. Like, is the build capable of beating the boss? Or is it really, really struggling and you have to make a bunch of changes? And this kind of leads me into my next point, which is, make sure your build is ready to go. Make sure you have all the talismans you want for your build, the spells you want if you're using spells or incantations.
Meester, I was just talking about this, dude. Oh my god, I saw it. I saw it.
And one thing I can highly recommend going into the DLC
Someone's cheeks was getting blasted. There was helicopter dick.
I do a lot of builds that are melee or ranged, but don't have a lot of mixed melee and range. And I would highly recommend that you have at least a ranged option. A lot of us have played Elden Ring a lot. I have over 2,000 hours in this game at this point. And it's just, you know where the enemies are going to be. You can avoid them or kill them easily. So you don't remember what it's like a lot of time when you're first exploring an area, that sometimes a guy's standing up on a balcony ranging shots at you. And if there's no ranged option, you can't hit him. So make sure you have some sort of ranged option in your repertoire, whether that's spells or a bow or throwing items, so you can take down a ranged enemy. If
no way someone got Lady Boy corn on DSP Reacts. Holy shit.
Talked about builds with stance damage, and that we didn't know quite back then how the Skadu Tree fragment would work. We've since learned that it just increases your damage and damage resistance, and your damage
the real
is not
DSP
or anything like that. Enemies
is
just have
saying
health pools.
at YouTube creators, at YouTube
so
Gaming, DSP Reacts is out here watching porn on stream. Everybody's saying Darish.
So
this is Darish's fault, bro.
Theorized is that stance damage would be a good way around this, but one thing that I want to mention is
the paranoia is going to wrap up even more. There's just no way. He's going to have to watch the videos beforehand, and that involves work, and he's not going to do it.
When you know that a boss's stance value
is the end of DSP Reacts as we know it. He's going to say, guys, we just cannot move forward positively.
Weapon skill stance damage
the damn trolls.
And then calculate whether that's going to work against that boss or how many hits exactly you need to do. And that information is much easier after we have that data. So that could be, a week or two into the DLC before we have that data. I don't know exactly how long it'll be before we have all that data on the wiki, but it might not necessarily be the best strategy when we don't know those values, because it's possible that the bosses might be harder or have more stance, and that might invalidate that strategy a little bit.
Look at that.
That's not to say that it can't work and that stance damage is bad or anything like that. It's just to say that keep in mind that your stance damage build, if you're running one, might not work completely optimized day one when you get into the DLC, and you might have to tweak it around a little bit once you start figuring out how many hits it takes to stagger this type of enemy or that type of enemy. Another thing that I'll mention that you want to have probably stocked up before you go into the DLC is larval tears. Larval tears allow you to respec at Rinola, and as you pick up different weapons in the DLC that seem awesome to you and you want to check them out, you might not have the stat requirements for them, or maybe you do have the stat requirements, but all your points are intelligence. This weapon scales mostly with strength, and you might have to go respec to be optimally set up to use that weapon. So make sure you have a bunch of these. There are, again,
and like the crazy part about it too is like you got
exactly where
the full Monty. You saw everything, all the parts on both people. You heard the slapping.
And then the very last thing I want to mention is that once you have all this stuff done, right? Like once you're ready to go into the DLC, your character has all this done. They're level 150. They have all the golden seeds, sacred tears, talismans, upgrade materials, bosses defeated, your build's ready, etc. You should consider backing up your save no matter what platform you're on, putting a save aside.
It appears Kiwi Tape says it appears DSP just streamed Transporn to DSP Reacts. Fun, positive content coming in nicely.
Something like that, so that once you get through the
Darish
DLC,
says in chat, again, let's say I saw my name in it. What the fuck?
Or, you know, you didn't like the way a certain thing happened, or maybe you just missed some stuff.
Chill Murray says Phil playing Eclipse, starting with a ladyboy getting fucked in the ass is hands down the funniest thing that happened in the Vortex. I don't care. Laugh my fucking ass off. Phil is freaking out. LFMAO. You could hear the clappage and everything.
So consider backing up your save.
Oh, AI just summarized it. Hold on.
So that wraps up our video on exactly what to do to prepare for the Elden Ring DLC.
Thank you. Coffee, not safe for work. What up, pimp? Guess what? You just missed it. The guy, Darkside Phil, celebrates Sundays differently than me. And by differently, I mean, I'm enjoying some magical butter watching videos on stream with everybody. Darkside Phil today decided instead to sit in front of the camera and live react to someone getting their ass blasted. Literal corn on the timeline, boys. It was a sight to behold. And I'm all over Twitter right now. Hold on. Screw it, whatever. How are you, my friend? I hope you are happy, healthy, and most importantly, hydrated. That's right, we're not making Mitsu-chan angry. We love Mitsu-chan. Today's Sussy Baka Sunday is being brought to you by the Magical Butter Machine. That's right, the Magical Butter Machine. Making me so high today that I had to take a little nappy wappy because I was feeling eepy. But that definitely got my heart rate going, seeing that, getting that ass blasted. The AI generated chat summarization is now reacting and summarizing what happened on the stream thusly. They say, someone submits a video of Carl Sagan's pale blue dot. The video has been edited to include transgender corn, has comments from Darish across the top, and one of the performers is wearing an Argentina shirt! Yo! 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 I did not notice that. Yes! Phil tries to explain it away as a video someone else had originally made to trick others, and the person who submitted it had merely found it. Mario Faker says, I completely lost it when I thought I heard him say someone literally edited in a clip. Yes, it's supposed to be clip, but with his mush mouth and the context. Jesus. Jesus. Yo, and I didn't even notice that it had transparent overlays of Darish IP saying, ugh, I'm disgusted, and ugh, and disgusted. And it has photographs of Darish. Oh my god. Bro. I am amazed. I am truly, we are experiencing history. This is crazy. So, we can only go up from here, guys. I do believe that it's now time for us to indulge in some Elden Ring, since we are so hyped for it now. However, I do believe my mind will be elsewhere. But I hope to see you on the other side of this, and I'll see you there. Hey, yo, welcome back to the shit show. I just want to let everybody know there will be no accidental corn popping off on the screen as I'm playing this game. We run a type shit around here. And I sure hope Prolokar can hold my hand because I do not know what I'm doing. You're trying to finish Randy's quest before the end of the game. You should check out a walkthrough and see what part where you have to pick up a miniature doll of Randy. If you go to where it says in the guide, grab it and talk to it several times from Site of Grace. It should put you back on track. Randy's quest isn't much longer and unlock several spells you might want for DLC as the Black Knight Trish location. Okay. So these are all notes. These are all talismans, legs, arms, chest, head, shields, bolts, melee, ashes, incantations, sorceries, key items. Here we go. Miniature Ranny. You see this? I have this. Prolokar. If you go to where they say it is in the guide, grab it and talk to it several times from Site of Grace and it should put you back on track. Yes, but a doll resembling Rani the Witch from head to toe. Every detail is perfect. This unresponsive doll seems pleasantly cool. Cool. Let's just fight the final boss. Fuck it. We ball. What if I beat the game before I even finish the quest? That would be funny. Pray for me. Come on, do something, idiot. Oh, fuck you. Why are you blocking my ish? Gotcha, bitch. Oh, I might just beat this game. Oh no. This looks like a giant finger. Oh God. Wow. Ansel River, Maine. Where's that at? Underground. Okay. I think. Where's this? Where is this area? It's underground, right? Ah, there you are. Uh-huh. Open stone coffin. Miniature Ronnie can be spoken to the Ansel River main site of grace. She'll respond after talking 3 times. Okay. Ellipses. Ellipses.
Oh, a dogged fellow, aren't we?
Oh, it's a girl.
Or is it merely thy habit to talk to dolls?
That's what I do.
Fine. I hadn't expected any soul to recognize me in this guise. But now the cat is out the bag. I cannot allow thee thy freedoms. Perform for me a service as recompense. Eliminate the baleful shadows which prowl these lands. The name of Rani the Witch is already sullied by thee. I will not brook disobedience in this matter.
Hey, yo.
Perform for me a service as recompense. Eliminate the baleful shadows which prowl these lands. The name of Rani the Witch is already...
Yeah. Okay. So I need to now... Beyond the Noxtella Waterfall, Bays and Grace Point. I don't know where that is. Hey, hello there. Hello. Welcome. How are you? And thank you for the follow earlier. Really do appreciate that. We do Dance Dance Revolution every Monday through Friday, 10 to noon. We do late night chill streams, and then on Sundays is our marathon style streams where I live react to some videos and then we play some video. It is a Elden Ring / Final Fantasy XIV type of day today. We are always welcome to have you here with us. Hope you like what I've done with the place. I'm a 20-year graphic designer. I've been doing graphic design as a living for the better part of 5 years now. I quit my daytime job to do that full-time, and I haven't looked back since. We're live streaming on YouTube and Twitch right now. Really do appreciate you hanging out. What brings you to this corner of the internet, if you don't mind me asking? And if you don't feel like divulging that information, that is perfectly okay too. We're very chill lot over here. And so areas. You can reach this area by taking the river west from the northern Uhl Palace ruins. Wherever that is. Sheesh. Nice to meet you. Beezers gave me the recommendation. Well, we love Beezers here in this corner of the internet. I also do follow for follow, so if you're cool with it, I gave you a follow as well. Yeah, Beezers is that dude. Super funny, very chill. Also a Souls bro. Well, hello there. What are you doing here?
And his name is John C.
Oh my goodness, King Be Cruel. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Did you just see what happened on DSP Reacts? Tell me you just saw what happened. Yes! Yes! Bro, top top DSP moment of all time. No shit. Yep. It's going to be this is going to go down in history as one of the greatest DSP moments of all time. And for those of you who do not know who DSP is, consider yourself lucky. The vortex spins and spins and spins, and sometimes we have to take a step back because we get nauseous. The Argentinian strike back in the bag. Yo, let's go. I didn't even notice the Argentinian shirt on by the one that was receiving the punishment. I was not even aware of that. I was too entranced. I was obviously the main event was front row center, but now people can make montages of that moment in the 2016 style of early stream entertainment. It was so fast, like, yo, I was seeing the internet responding to it, and then they were like, yes, and then the one that was taking it, ah! I didn't even know that person was wearing an Argentinian style shirt. That is a deep cut. Now, what was this about? You can see Darish pictures on there too. Thank you, Jess. And thanks for helping with the algorithm over on YouTube. Uh-oh, I didn't want to do that. Like, he's gonna have to, like, private that video, that stream. I mean, it doesn't make any money anyway, but, like, he's gonna have to, like, he's gonna have to do some editing, which he's not gonna do, or he's gonna have to, you know, get rid of the whole thing. So, like,
perform for me as soon. Eliminate the name of Rani. I will.
Yeah. But guys, with all that being said, I'm gonna have to call it a stream. We've been at it for about 2 hours now, and now it is time for dinner. We're having delicious steak, and I'm not lying, guys. We are having steak for dinner, so steak is on the menu, boys. There was 2 Darish photos with him holding lingerie, and 2 of his comments saying, I'm disgusted and confused. We are truly living in the golden age of DSP space gaming. Why don't you catch me on the other side of this, and I'll send everybody off the proper way. Stand by. King Be Cruel, you are so right, my friend. This has been a crazy year. Season 16 of DSP Space Gaming has been absolutely insane. What a year. What a time to be a detractor. And for those of you who do not follow professional wrestling, the latest tag team in professional wrestling, the Detractors, is taking the internet by storm. And that is all thanks to each and every one of you. So big ups and shout outs to all of you guys who have helped made the Detractors the #1 trending topic on MCW Pro Wrestling's Breakthrough. I really do appreciate it.
I took it to my penthouse and I freaked it.
And then, of course, thank you to everybody that hung out with us here today for Sussy Baka Sunday, brought to you by the Magical Butter Machine. I will now indulge in some delicious steak dinner, and then I will adjourn for the evening. This has been an excellent day, and it is all because of each and every one of you. So, if we have any recommendations as to who we should raid, I think I know exactly who I'm going to raid, because she is awesome, and she is a Stepmania streamer. And I cannot wait to see what the rest of the internet at large has to say about DSP's newest gaffe. See if I can spell this correctly. All right, very good. Be sure to show Riley the same love and support that you've been showing me. Stay tuned, because tomorrow morning we are going to return to the Summer of Stepmania, 9 or 10 o'clock a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time, and then Monday Night Brawl. Same Twitch time, same YouTube channel. So with all that being said, guys, I love each and every one of you. I hope you stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. And until next time, guys, take care, be safe. Watch out for the Argentinian detractors. Peace.